I've seen you talking about branding and how essential it is to stay consistent at the brand level.
Exactly. 99% of brand is built on customer support.
Every product or every business is focusing on the cost. The story is formed in such a way that you explain what the cost is. The hero of that story is not the company that is making it. It is actually only a few companies, great companies, actually reduce that delta between saying and doing.
And one company that royally in this term is Medium.
Trust is the one factor which runs the entire economy, is what I feel.
True.
Right?
Without credibility, there is no trust involved.
Right.
Without trust, there is no brand built.
It has to happen in the same sequence.
Exactly. This same pipeline has to go for every single person that interacts with your brand. See, most of the time, when you're selling something that is kind of an insurance to a company, you tell them about what will happen if shit goes sideways. One
of the best thing I could see in the Apple's bicycles of the mind, they're not just building a bicycle for the mind. They're building the best bicycles for the mind. They actually elevate the user's standard along with their product. So one thing I always think about ICPs is that it is important for any business to know who their ICP. Even more important is that your non-ideal customers should know that they are not your ideal customers.
That is why I have a section on my website saying that who this course is not for.
One of the best compliment I think probably for this brand, I would say, I would give that product to my kid.
Okay, so welcome to the first ever episode of TBD. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Shashank.
Yes. So TBD is not a placeholder name. TBD is the actual name of the show. TBD means tech and brand decoded. So because Hameed is from a tech background, I am from a brand background, I assume. So we both want to talk about, what startups are, what companies are, what a brand truly means, how to build a brand, how to build a scalable product, a lot of these things. But to start with, let's take things a little slow. You might know me as a stupidpreneur on the internet. I talk about branding. I have more than 7 years of experience in the field of branding and building my own companies as well. So I've surprisingly started 13 companies and failed in 9 of them. Sold one, actively running one, 2 or 3 more. I don't even know the count as of now. So
stopped counting.
Stop counting after a point of time. So yeah, and Hameed is from a very significant tech background. Surprisingly, this man has never been to school, not even to get away from rains or floods. That is the best part. And you've been a CTO, and right now you are a fractional CTO, and you work with Nasdaq listed enterprises.
Correct.
So, and you have more than 20 years of experience in tech. Yes. 5 years more and you'll be my age. So I just want to rub that on your face before we move forward. So this episode has one major agenda. What makes a product truly valuable? Right. So before you go to ChatGPT or use an AI browser to summarize this conversation, I'll directly want to give you the 6 points that makes a product truly valuable. And for the remainder of the show, we'll go in detail about what each part is, what each specific point means. So I just want to read you out before we move forward. So what makes a product truly valuable? It solves a real problem or takes them to their desired state and delivers great user experience and reliable, even enough to be invisible.
Right.
Clear story behind why it matters, builds long-term trust by fulfilling the promise in a very transparent way, adapts to user feedback, elevates their standards and evolves together, integrates and reduces the friction in their life or work.
Right.
I know this is more confusing than initially we started, but hopefully in the next few hours, we'll try to give you an answer to this as much as possible. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Once again, TBD. Let's roll the intro, I guess. Hopefully we made one.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
So, okay, let's start. So, it solves a real problem or takes them to the desired state. So, that is the first point.
Correct.
So, yeah.
So, I think a great product or a business, I feel it should understand the problem space more than the solutions.
Yes.
Right. So, it has to go deeper into the behaviors of the users or, the customers and understand the problem in a depth. To develop some solution on top of that, right?
Yes.
Solutions may change depending on the trend, depending on the technology, depending on the tools that we have.
Yeah.
But the problem stays the same, right? So we try to understand the problem and try to solve those problems in depth. I think that's basically where the great products are, kind of delivered by people who has faced the problems themselves, most likely.
Okay. So one significant story that we all of us know is that, how Uber's initial founders were, standing in the middle of a rain and they couldn't find cabs, and that is what inspired them to start Uber.
Correct.
So something like that. Most of the time when we try to solve a problem that we don't have or don't really relate to, that's where the problem starts.
Correct.
So most of them want to build an app to mobilize all the white collar workers, but they've never been a white collar worker. They've never spoken to a white collar worker.
Right.
Just putting up a website where you can list all these people is not going to solve any of these things.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And when you go into depth, I think there's one more thing I found out was most of the time we look at the problems at the surface level.
Yeah.
And we see there are certain problems, mostly that are apparent to everybody.
Okay.
Right? But sometimes when you go into the nuances, when you go into the depth, right, you see the nuances of the problem.
Right.
Sometimes it is invisible.
Yes.
To the large population.
Yeah.
Right. Or sometimes we know there are certain things, but we just ignore it. We don't consider that as a significant problem at all.
Yes.
Right. One example I could take is cred. So what cred does is basically it kind of helps you manage credit card bills, pay credit card bills. When will
right
this
now it is a credit card.
It is a credit card right now.
Yeah.
But it started that way.
Yes.
Right. So where it solved the problem is it didn't solve the problem for people who have 1 or 2 credit cards.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to manage, right? You just
Yes.
go into a bank's website or an app
Yes.
and you make the payment. But when you have more than 3 credit cards, right? That's where the management or maintenance burden shows up.
Yeah.
And these are the nuances. It can be understood only if you kind of go into those nuances.
Exactly.
The depth of that problem.
Exactly. Because if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have straight up told you that credit is a useless app. Because no one forgets to pay their bills. But if you look at the data, it says exactly 100% opposite of whatever I was thinking, right? If you even delay it by a day or so, there are hefty fines that credit card companies lay on you.
Right.
It affects your CIBIL score, which in turn has a very long-term impact on your life. So there are a lot of problems that people face because I thought credit was useless because I have never owned a credit card. And one more thing, I don't relate to the problem of paying bills on time. Because I've never had to worry about those things, right? But right now, even after me starting to think about getting a credit card, now I understand how significant the app is. Right. And even I've seen a lot of my friends use it. So, as you mentioned, 3 or 4 credit cards. I have a friend who works in one of the biggest tech companies, and he has 4 or 5 credit cards, and entirely he manages things on credit.
Right.
And when I started looking at this app and I started using it for a few minutes, I felt, okay, this is wow. This is just mind blowing. This is how an app should be designed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful experience altogether, and of course, I hold more than 5. I think right now 7 is the count.
You've lost track.
Lost track of. So that is when it hit me too, having that experience, trying to use it, and not being not needed to track any dates as such, right? So when you have 7 credit cards spread across the month, the due dates are spread across the month, and it's very difficult to keep track of. And when it is not tracked, and when it, as you said, the pain point is higher.
Yes.
Or the penalties are higher. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I classify ideas into 3 buckets usually. So one is the vitamins that you take. Use these products to prevent certain things from coming. Right. 2 are the painkillers.
Yeah.
The usual stuff. Majority of the product will fall into the painkiller category. But the third one I see is the insurance.
Yes.
Right. So if we go by that analogy, right, the vitamins are here to prevent certain things from happening.
Yes.
And or to give you that immunity overall, right? Then there are painkillers, which is meant or designed in such a way to be reactive, right? So when you have the problem, you minimize the minimize the pain or reduce it or eliminate it in a certain way, right? But the insurances are it doesn't prevent the problem.
Yes, it makes sure that nothing bad happens even if you come to that situation.
Correct, exactly. So again, kind of a larger part of painkillers, I would say.
Yes.
Right. So this is something similar to what I have seen. So I think cred falls into the category of vitamin and the insurance together.
Yes. Nice. So I have another question to add on to this. So we all know that insurance is a very viable or not viable, it's a very vital part of even your everyday life and even in terms of your business, right? But what happens is that most of us ignore this insurance part. I'll ask you a very simple question. We buy a domain on GoDaddy, but we refuse to pay for the production.
Correct.
We refuse to pay for the protection, right?
Correct.
This happens to a lot of things. We buy an email, but we don't enable two-factor authentication. But
True.
Why do you think this happens? And let's say if I'm a company that is selling insurance kind of product, how do you think I can do this?
I think it is primarily a human motivation, a human behavior, kind
human
of
flaw.
human flaw, I would say, right? So that's kind of that's the purpose, right? So every insurance has a value, but only when you foresee the issues or foresee the problems that can occur, the pain point that can occur,
right,
in the future. But how do you see it? Like, what do you think? Where do you think the product should be in terms of, let's say, if we are building something like an insurance type of product, let's say. I'm not directly pointing to the insurance as a product, but saying insurance type of product, if we are categorizing it into that. So how do you think that should be branded, right? How the awareness should be, how do you think it should be branded?
See, most of the time, when you're selling something that is kind of an insurance to a company, you tell them about what will happen if shit goes sideways. That is what you should do. Awareness or something. Mostly awareness doesn't even work. You tell them that, okay, if this goes sideways, you will have to pay $1 million. You'll be losing $100,000. You'll be losing $200,000. What happens if there is no SSL certificate on your website?
Correct.
There are hefty problems towards it. People don't trust your website. You'll be losing $1 million in sales this month just because you refuse to pay $50 for a SSL certificate, right? So it comes to as very small part in the whole bigger picture. So, so if I'm selling an insurance kind of product, tell them how much I'll be losing if I don't do this, right? Let's say, for example, if you don't do this, you'll be losing $10,000, and if you choose to be safe with this, you're spending only $90 per month. There is a clear value difference, right? So this is very evident even from my products and my courses as well. If you go to the course landing page, the first landing page, first version of the course, it starts with that your marketing spend without a brand strategy is 2.5 lakhs. And then it comes to saying that your marketing spend with brand strategy is 1.3 lakhs. I've already saved you
for the same results.
Yes, for the same results. I've already saved you 1.2 lakhs here. So when you scroll down, I tell you that the course is 20,000 rupees, right? So of the 1.2 lakhs you've saved, I'm asking you just 20,000 rupees. So right now you're paying me from your savings.
Correct.
This is the mentality of people. Believe it or not, when you go through the website, even after knowing all these things, if you look at the website, you scroll through the website, you will feel the same way. That is basic human psychology. We know that some things are just placebo, but we'll still continue to do it, right?
Correct. But I feel that as a perception of value.
Yes.
Right? So that perception of value is always there and should be there.
Yes.
In a way.
See, it is intentionally put up that way because if you're not spending 2.5 lakhs per month on your paid ads or any of the kind of your marketing, there's no point in you trying to do brand strategy right now. There's no point of you doing. Let's say, for example, you're only spending 10,000 per month on meta ads. There is no point of you spending 20,000 rupees on a course to learn brand strategy right now. Probably once you have 100, 200, 300 paying customers, once you start making significant revenue, only then start worrying about these things. And most of the time when it comes to insurance product, people don't pay for it because most of them are trying to even find a break-even point. Most of them are trying to find a profitable business. Even let's take, for example, the whole Indian economy is functioning in a way saying that, okay, we don't want to pay for any of the softwares. That is how the Indian economy operates. We've seen a lot of huge companies that don't pay for any of the softwares. It's cracked version all along. But what happens if an audit shows up? What happens if another company, if the company that owns the software comes to your office and sees? What happens if Tally comes and looks at your organization and says that, okay, so you're using a cracked version of Tally, you build up 3.5 crores a year, we want 10% of it, or else they're going to sue you. What happens when that when it comes, right?
Possibilities.
Yes, that's all the possibility that is out there. So I would be very careful when I'm doing these things, and maybe initially to start with, I'm not promoting piracy in any way, but initially when you're starting with, you have to cut corners here and there. Try to use the free version, use an open source version, do anything that is there. But once you start making revenue, start paying for software.
Totally agree.
Be safe.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
of course. Coming from the tech side. So, like, I can understand with businesses, right? The insurance kind of products. When it is sold to businesses or B2B kind of engagements, it's pretty easy because businesses have two goals, right? When they're purchasing any tool or a product. is either they want to save more money or either they
Yes.
want to make more money,
Yeah.
right? So I think everything can be put under
Boiled
these
down
two
to,
buckets,
yes, 2 buckets.
right? So it is easier, like, they want to save more money in the future if something, goes sideways. I can totally understand that part. But how do you think a consumer will perceive the insurance type of product?
I think the same goes to a consumer as well. If I'm saving money in the long term, I'm okay with this.
Mhm.
So that is how consumers also look at this. Let's say, for example, if credit comes out and says that, okay, we are going to charge a subscription of 299 rupees or 199 rupees per month to make sure you pay your bills on time,
I would pay.
I would definitely, even someone who hasn't used the app frequently is open or are okay with an idea of paying credit for that amount, because if you boil down the app, most of the time it is just a reminder. It's an intelligent reminder, right? You have to pay your bills. But if you don't pay, the cost of you owing the credit card companies is massive.
Right. True.
Right. So that is something any product has to look into whenever they are building something, right? And even it becomes easier to sell as well.
Correct.
It becomes easier to sell as well. So instead of selling FOMO or any other marketing gimmicks, you can actually solve a pain point, saying that, okay, last month you paid 6 lakhs in 6 lakhs in credit card bills. If you don't pay this month, what happens is that you'll be paying another hefty fine of, let's say, 40,000 rupees.
Huge number.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. No, I think definitely. See, I would pay to credit just to avoid going into any other bank's application.
Exactly. Exactly.
That itself is a pain point for me.
Exactly. Yeah. So most of the time, user experience is also user experience, something that people actually pay for, right? That is why super apps and a lot of the well-designed apps take off when in the original app doesn't work. So
I think we have our whole point talking around the user experience.
Yes.
I think
so
that's coming up.
Yeah,
next.
we'll hold on to that conversation for a little now.
Yeah.
So
I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Very interesting. So I've seen growing up, I've seen a lot of ads. We all have, right?
We all have.
And in India, we have an inherent problem of promoting an insurance type of product. The actual insurance product.
Insurance product. Yeah.
LIC struggled with messaging.
Yes.
Because in ad explicitly you cannot talk about negative stuff like
negative stuff,
or
yes,
some accident and all that stuff. So how do you think this will impact or for the tech products who are in the category of insurance like products?
Okay, so I would say that problem doesn't exist because a lot of the tech companies don't advertise directly in TV where there are a lot of regulations.
It doesn't go to the common audience.
Okay. Yes, and most of the time, the product that they're selling are people who are using other piece of technology, and I think mostly they rely on social media platforms to do all their marketing. And I think the platforms are pretty much happier with you promoting negative stuff because negativity sells more than any kind of positivity, right? So the whole foundation of Twitter or X platform is built on people being arrogant to each other. Reddit is built on people yelling at each other for no apparent reason, right?
Anonymously.
At least Twitter, most of the time it is who the other person is, but Reddit is built another way, right? So I think it's a problem. I don't see it being existent in this point of time. Who knows?
Okay. And I think this brings me up to the other side of it. So I think we are discussing mostly about one category of products.
Yes.
Right. The other two painkillers, of course, are easier to sell because people have pain and it is.
Yes. I'm killing the pain. Give me your money. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But the hardest, I think, is more kind of vitamins, right? Supplements or vitamins kind of products.
Yes.
So what do you think that strategy should be for a vitamin?
To sell a vitamin. So I would say let's start with one thing. So show them the transformation or what they will become instead of selling the features or the kind of things that is their nuances in the app or something like that. One of the biggest examples or the best examples is that you take Nike. Okay. They sell the dream of you becoming an athlete or someone who starts working out. They don't sell shoes. They never ask you to buy their latest shoe or talk about this. So whenever they put up an ad, they say that, okay, get out of your bed, start running, start doing some exercise. You are great. You deserve all these things. You are capable of more than you. So they sell the dream of the ideal version that you want to become.
Okay.
Right. So that is something that you definitely have to do. And then comes the instant gratification kind of part. Let's say, for example, one easy example or one easy thing that you can do if you're selling a tech product is that give me a small task to accomplish within the next 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something that starts up a streak. Snapchat does this brilliantly, but that is not a very right example for me to say. Let's take, for example, Headspace. Headspace does this beautifully. So the first time you log into the app, it asks you to do a quick 5-minute meditation. So there comes, it says that, once you've done it, there comes this, this confetti saying that, you've done something. That makes me feel, meaningful, and I'm satisfied with my purchase or even free download or whatever it is. That is something that you can definitely do. And if you're talking about specifically tech products or SaaS products or applications like this, one thing that you can do is, to reduce friction as much as possible. Simply give them a 14-day free trial or 30-day free trial. That is up to you, but don't ask for a credit card when they're doing it. I would say so much as to say there is a company called Rose, rows.com, rose.com. So it's basically an Excel alternative. They don't even ask you to log in to use their product. They don't even have a landing page. Their whole app is the landing page. You use everything, every feature. If you want to save this progress, then sign in. Or else they don't ask for my information at all. Right? So this is reducing friction to the bare minimum. The only friction is that you have to find out about the app. Once you find out, everything is as you like.
And that is also guided, right?
That is also very much guided. So like how Microsoft has Clippy, or whenever you sign into a website, there is guided learning. First use here. All the pop-ups, everything comes up straight. But the thing is that it doesn't ask me to sign up until the moment I feel satisfied and want to save my progress. If I want to save my progress, that means that I've done something meaningful with the app, or else I'm not their ideal customer. There's no point of them sending cold emails or product emails to remind me about the app. They just don't want that. Unnecessary hassle, right?
True.
They want only satisfied people. It is easier for someone who used the product for 20 minutes and made an account to convince them to become a paying customer, rather than just cold emailing for 7 days, 8 days to asking them to become a paying customer, right? So this is what I would say works. And social proof is something that works amazing for vitamins, right? Let's say, for example, 20,000 plus people have done this. Are people working in companies like Apple, Meta, Stripe, and all those kind of things are doing it. So that is something that really sells. So whenever you're selling, even if you go to the Stupid Button newsletter landing page, it has logos of people. It has company logos of Ogilvy, Royal Enfield, Freshworks, Amazon. Because when I want to learn about something, if I go to the website and see that companies that I aspire to work in or aspire to buy from, or someone where I'm a customer of, if people from there are reading it, it obviously means that this is valuable enough. I'm just convinced them enough. Right? So if you want to sell a vitamin, this is all the things that you need to.
Fair point. I think you brought up a few good stuff, which is not only applicable to the vitamins.
Yes.
I think it's applicable across the board for any kind of product, like reducing the friction, having a good user experience and stuff like that. But I feel like, so from my point of view, if I look at the vitamins, I would take probably cues from the actual vitamins that are being sold, the supplements that have been sold, right? So even they try to convert it into a pain point or a discomfort kind of situations, right? Let's say, for example, I've recently had to take a melatonin supplement for a sleep, right? So it's a supplement, and it basically talks about the sleep issues in general, right? So how it comforts and stuff like that. So I think even with a human behavior, I feel like even the supplements have to be sold with some kind of a problem statement into it, or highlighting a discomfort part.
I think one thing I would also add to this, that there has to be a problem statement, and the problem statement is something that I mentioned initially. So when I spoke about you becoming the better version of yourself, becoming that better version is the problem statement, right? So when I want to buy a shoe, I want to start jogging, or I want to start going to the gym. Right, so that is the problem statement. So get people to go to the gym, get people to start jogging. So I think that is the actual problem statement, and the way maybe I framed it with Nike might have been different, but I come to the same conclusion. It does have a problem statement.
And sometimes it's that's why we call it a pain point or a desired state.
Yes, if you go to Loom's website, they'll say, save 2 hours a day. That is absolutely fine. So if I do things async, I'm saying 2 hours a day.
Correct.
Done.
Beautiful.
Even though Loom is a terrible product, but I still like the way they present it.
Correct. The purpose of the product. So should we go into the next one?
Yes.
The next point.
The next point.
So delivering a great user experience and being reliable enough to be invisible.
Okay.
Right?
This brings up more questions than answers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So delivering great user experience, how do we think about it is what I wanted to, I just wanted to think about it, because user experience is a very subjective term. Like it's a broad term.
Yes.
Some people may perceive it good. Some people may not want to have that kind of experience. Some people want to have more control. Some people want to have less control.
Yeah.
Right. So how do we simplify it and understand, or maybe define it in a way that it can be applicable to any kind of product?
Okay. So a few months ago, I don't know, days ago, month ago, I've came across something called as, this the generic term. I forgot the exact term, but the concept says is that whenever you start using certain products, it feels very personal to you. It feels like it was designed to you.
Okay.
But once the company starts scaling up, let's say for example, from 200 active users, the company goes to 1,000 active users, then to maybe 50,000 active users, the product becomes generic. Right. So right now, every social media is going through the TikTokification phase. Right.
Correct.
Everyone wants to do
videos,
short
reels,
videos.
yeah.
Even Twitter.
Right.
So they were the original short form platform.
Correct.
Right. Things under 280 characters.
Correct.
Right now they're doing
140.
short form media. Yeah, 140 characters.
140.
Yeah, started at 140. So I feel like the more bigger the company becomes, the more generic it will become. But the thing is that there are certain things that you can obviously do to make the customer experience better. So one thing as a customer I would want is that let me understand the product without you getting involved as much as possible.
Okay.
If the
being
product
invisible?
is being invisible. So as you mentioned, if the product is self-explanatory, that would be more than sufficient for me to start with as a user experience, right? So just a few minutes ago, I had some kind of problem. See, I booked something on Swiggy Dine-Out. There was no reason for a customer representative to call me and thank me for my booking. That was not possible. Let's say, for example, if my payment have failed a couple of times, if someone is calling me to ask, is there something that we can help with? That is good customer experience.
Because
but this
you have
call,
a problem.
Yeah, I do have a problem. But right now, I made a reservation.
And you don't have
I know the restaurant. I made a reservation. I paid for 2 people. Why are you calling to thank me?
Okay.
Even if the restaurant is calling me, I would understand to some extent.
Right.
But Swiggy calling me and saying that, okay, this is a checkup call, this is unnecessary.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense. Because there is no problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
This could have been a message.
Correct.
Even that is unnecessary.
That is unnecessary.
You've given me confirmation message that is more than sufficient for me.
So it's like giving the way.
Yes.
To experience that stuff rather than just pointing out on stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. No, that's a beautiful point. And again, but don't you think some people would kind of want to have this kind of a comfort kind of feel where they want to receive a call, they want to feel welcome? Because one thing from the human motivation, what I would understand is we all want to feel special.
Yes.
Right? And that's why we celebrate birthdays.
Yes.
There's no other reason.
No other reason. Because that's not technically our achievement. It's our mother's achievement.
Or parents' achievement.
Parents' achievement.
Right. So I feel like we always want to feel special in every occasion possible.
Yes.
And having a call, somebody calling you, caring about stuff, and giving you a kind of a pleasant message. Don't you think this is a good point to nurture that? I know you don't like human interactions as much.
No.
Comparatively.
See, I think it differs from what I have to do or what kind of things that I'll be doing. Let's say, for example, so okay, this is something that happened a couple of months ago. I was buying flowers from Ferns and Petals.
Okay.
I'm a very satisfied customer. So because the first time when I tried, the payment failed.
Okay.
The second time I tried, the payment failed again. They called me to fix the problem. They send me a link saying that, okay, so we've made it simple for you. I've sent you a link on WhatsApp. You can make the payment directly from there. And then we'll take it from there. Right? So I did that. The payment was successful. The order was delivered. I knew that because I got a call from the person saying that, okay, the flowers were delivered. But after an hour, I got call back from the same representative saying that I hope the flowers were delivered and I hope you felt happy with your purchase. Right?
That's a duplicate.
Yes. That felt happy.
Okay.
Because it was for a moment or whatever it is. That was for something special. As you mentioned, without knowing whether if it's special or me or not, it might be a simple business reservation that I booked on Swiggy.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I wouldn't want confirmation for that. I've seen a visible confirmation. I've seen a WhatsApp message. I've seen an email notification from you.
Right.
I've seen it on my Google Calendar as well. There is no reason for you to call and confirm me, right?
Right.
But for an order delivered, for a parcel that is delivered and something that is very close to me, if you give me a call back, then I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
Right?
That's a beautiful point.
That is something that I'll be okay with it. So it depends upon what kind of stuff that you're selling, or maybe if you have the data for so and so thing, let's say for example, you're booking this for an anniversary, if you're booking this for a business trip,
Correct.
that would be okay with it.
Understanding the intent.
Understanding the intent behind the purchase, because I've seen one viral photo that has been there in the internet for a very long time. So there is an actual supermarket where there are two colors of basket. One is black and one is red. So black stands for do not disturb me. Red stands for you may assist me.
That's right? Beautiful.
If I pick the red
labeling.
Basket, please come and talk to me, or if someone in the store,
anyone can approach.
Yes, anyone can approach me to help me with my stuff.
Right.
If I pick a black basket, I am a regular customer. I know what things are, or I like to figure it out myself.
Yeah, don't disturb me.
Yes,
do not disturb.
Please do not disturb mode. Right. So that is something that is very beautiful. That is very intuitively designed.
Correct.
Right. So yeah,
I think we should have this for in many places.
Yes, exactly. See, a lot of even products have this onboarding experience as well. So when I log into Beehive as a user, in the first time I log in, they ask me, do you have experience with Beehive? They don't ask me, do you have experience using Beehive? Right? They ask me, do you have experience using any other email marketing platform?
Right.
And if I say yes, they pop me up with the top 5 email marketing platform. I've seen this firsthand.
Okay.
This is not something a made up story. This is an actual story. If you selected Kit, they offer you less support. Okay. If you select MailChimp, they offer a little bit more support. It depends upon the platform to platform, because they know that there are certain kind of features that is new and that is something that I should know about the product. And if I'm coming from MailChimp or any other email provider, Beehive is absolutely a new world for me. Even though I might be an email marketer or someone who's working in newsletters, but the platform is entirely new to me.
Correct.
If I'm migrating from Kit or Klaviyo or some other similar platform, I know what the tools are. They just have to show me the couple of new things they've done different from Kit.
Okay.
Right.
So only the parity.
Exactly. So collecting this one vital data makes the entire difference. Because when I signed into Beehive, I did not want to think about how to write a post. I know where it is.
Correct.
It is simple user experience, right?
And it is going to be used similar labels. And
exactly. The only two things that I want to know is that they have boosts and they have the other couple of things that is there, which is not on the Kit network. That felt really amazing to me.
Beautiful. I think that I've seen in many products. I mean, a lot of products have been, thoughtfully designed.
Yes.
So I think the user experience boils down to things that I think thoughtfully designed.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
In many cases, we've seen Apple products and
yes.
Apple's hardware and software.
Least maintenance.
Maintenance. No, kind of no ambiguity.
Yep.
In anything, right? And
yes.
As they say, it just works.
Yes, it just works.
It just works.
It might be default. It might be template. It
Correct.
Might be anything that you can complain about it all you want, but you'll end up buying a Mac most of the time.
Exactly. I do.
Yes.
I've switched in 2013.
Yeah.
And since then, never looked back.
2018, never looking back.
Never looking back. Yeah. Exactly. So the kind of stuff. So now let's talk about the invisible part.
Yes.
Right. So for me, being invisible is again like, as we touched a little bit on the maintenance side.
Yeah.
For me,
I know the example that you're going to mention because I made you a customer.
Exactly. I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've liked the entire experience, and we are talking about the native RO purifier. It is a beautiful stuff which I can which I have recently purchased.
Yes.
Thanks to you again.
Yes.
Now, when that experience hit, because I was using a different brand of product, similar product from a different brand, and it was a maintenance hassle.
Yeah.
Right. Every 3 months I had to, have a, like, as you would say, have a human interaction. Right. To have things get ready and do that stuff, even for that to function properly.
Yeah.
Right. But ever since I've installed this one, it is pretty straightforward. Right. It is like set it and forget it.
Exactly.
Kind of, experience is what it has given. I don't want my, water purifier to do anything other than purifying
water. That's all.
Right. And that is like, it is a promise. It delivered that promise and it is silent.
Exactly.
And I'm happy about it. And like
it's not needy.
Correct. It's not needy. It
Yeah.
doesn't require attention from people. Right. And the second thing I liked about it is how they have looked into the user experience, going into the nuances.
Okay.
Because
elaborate a bit, please.
I'll tell you, I've read this part. before even like making the purchase decision, I wanted to understand like why this is good.
Okay.
Right, I know if you are recommending something, I know
Yes.
it has a value.
I had only one value. Don't talk to humans.
No, not right. So now, but this one, for me, I've gone through how they've designed the product, how thoughtfully they have done a stuff. But before that, before all this design came into the place, they tried to understand the problem in a very detailed, nuanced way. And nobody ever thought maintenance is a problem for an RO.
Exactly.
Right? People would, let's say, from the previous generation of companies who are dealing with RO, kind of machines, they would say it's like filling up a fuel, right? So you have to change it every 6 months or every 1 year. This has to happen. So they went back to the drawing board. They went back to, kind of even discovering certain things to make sure that the filters last for about 2 years. That's their only goal.
And I know for a fact that they'll give me a phone call, they'll send me an app notification or an email when it is close to 2 years, because they've logged into my Urban Company account. I know for a fact that they'll do this. I don't have to worry about or set a reminders from 2 years saying that I have to change this.
That's the second layer which I've liked.
Exactly.
Right? See, the 3 layers I have seen. So one layer is the innovation part. They've changed the entire engine to last longer. Right? It's like, having more mileage in a car.
Exactly. The thing is that because when I purchased the urban purifier, I bought it on Amazon. But when the Urban Company people came and installed, they politely requested me to do this and just link it once with the Urban Company account, so that you don't lose out on all the other benefits. It was very clear. Sir, we will not disturb you or anything. So whenever you want to change something or have some issues, just log into the app, click one button, we'll be here within the next 24 hours.
Beautiful.
I was like, okay, and now I'm going to do this.
I'm happy.
I already have an Urban Company account. There's no problem for me to link all these things.
Let's do this. Yeah, exactly. And I purchased this. My purchase experience was directly into the app.
Okay.
And it was even more beautiful. So it had the entire, kind of setup of when to install, when it will arrive, and all that. So the whole experience was amazing. The purchase experience was amazing. When I read the story about the innovation, that was amazing. And the whole way, the design of the product, it looks cooler. Right? It looks cool. It functions as it is advertised. And I was blown away by the application that they have, the whole interface that they've designed. I've seen the true tech company going into a traditional kind of stuff.
Right? So this is what happens when the beauty of tech and physical products come together. Converge. Right? So we all have this question. So what happens if Apple made a camera? So what happens if Apple made a car?
Correct.
What happens? All these kind of things, right? So once we start looking into this kind of areas, that means that the company is doing something amazing in their own way.
Correct.
Right. So see, as you mentioned, M1 or the native water purifier, whatever they've invented is Apple's equivalent of inventing M1 chip.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly.
So this is water purifier equivalent, and they've named it comfortably M1 as
M1,
well. So,
I guess. I think
two comparisons.
I don't know if it was intentional or not.
I hope it was intentional.
I hope so too.
So that is something that they've done very beautifully. So and if you're asking for a company to take your same design philosophy and thinking to put into something else, that means that the company is doing something good and the existing companies in that market are not doing the things right.
Correct. Right. And I've seen you talking about branding and how essential it is to stay consistent at the brand level. Have those values and principles to work with.
99% of good brand experience is just customer support. 99% of brand is built on customer support.
Beautiful.
99% of brand is built on good customer support. So actually I have a small story that I've shared in my newsletter as well. So I'm just giving them 2 scenarios. This is not a real story, but I'm just giving them 2 scenarios to comprehend. Scenario A and scenario B are two same companies who buy products from a same manufacturer.
Okay.
So the manufacturer defaults. Company A has a fail-proof plan in place. What happens if the manufacturer defaults?
Okay.
They already have a few things set up, and in the past 10 years, this hasn't happened. But they still have an SOP on what happens if there is a default from the manufacturer. Company B doesn't have that. Okay. So company A, what they did was that immediately after the manufacturer canceled the shipment, they did something. They sent out a thoughtful message to all their customers that this will be delayed and there are things that is going to be, little bit uncomfortable for you. So we apologize for all these things. And if you want a refund, you can go ahead and have yours. That is something they sent. So they sent an email to their customers saying that, okay, there is going to be some delay, there is going to be a little bit of discomfort. We apologize for your inconvenience. We are working so hard to get there. And if you would want a refund, we'll be completely okay with it. This is the link or this is the thing that you can look into. Company B was talking inside their corporate structure for 7 long days before they sent up a corporately, synergically bullshit email to their audience saying that, okay, this is something that we are going to
bureaucratic.
do. Yes, bureaucratic email to cover their asses. Company A made more customers. Company B lost customers.
Lost a customer.
And this is what happens in real life as well. Right? So before we wind up this point, I'll tell you an actual story of company A and company B that happened. Wakefit. I am a big fan of the company, of the products they've delivered, of everything they've done. I'm a very satisfied user as well. I like the quality of the products and everything. When I ordered a sofa a couple of months ago, they told me that, okay, it will be delivered on Monday morning. I was eagerly waiting for the call on when the sofas are going to be delivered. Monday morning, they called me and told me that due to the sale running, we have another 2 weeks of delay. I got so mad. It was absolutely irritating. Let's say, for example, they've called me the day I placed the order within 24 hours and told me that this is going to be another 2 weeks. I would have been 100% okay with this because I want the best quality products. Just for the fact that they cancelled me in the last minute when my excitement was, to the moon.
Yeah, okay.
I cancelled the purchase.
Bad surprises.
Yes, I cancelled the purchase. I got it from another company, which I'm not even a very satisfied customer of.
Okay.
But I got it from another company because they irritated me. But they delivered in 3 days.
Right. They had the whole process set up.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm not a happy customer. That's the worst part. I've purchased more than 1.5, 2 lakhs of products worth from Wakefit. But the only thing that keeps bugging me is that I
kind of long-term customer.
Yeah.
They've lost a long-term
customer.
Right?
Yes.
Just by not caring about certain stuff. Right? I think that boils down to a simple statement. Prepare for the worst. Deliver the best.
Deliver the best. Yeah.
So fantastic conversation so far.
Yes.
Right? So let's move into the third.
Yeah.
The third point.
Probably my favorite.
Probably your favorite. Right? Stories.
Yeah.
So I think what we have as a point here is there has to be a clear story behind why it matters. I say this as a cause. It has to sell a cause.
Yes.
Right? So every product has, or every business is focusing on the cause.
Yes.
So in various different ways.
Yeah.
So the story is formed in such a way that you explain what the cause is.
Yeah.
And the hero of that story is not the company that is making it.
Exactly.
It is actually the audience or the consumers.
100% true.
Right. So that's how I perceive it. So what's your take?
I 100% agree to it because one major flaw or major thing that I see with people is that whenever
major flaw. Okay.
Yeah, major flaw. Whenever we term the word story, they immediately go to a point where, okay, I have to start with my origin story. I have to start with the story of why I started this, why I started doing this. That is not the story. That is your origin story. Okay. That is all good, right? I relate to the story and everything as such. But if you don't make me the hero of that particular pain point that you're facing, if I cannot connect with the pain point, no amount of story is going to sell me your stuff.
Correct.
Right? You can have all your pity stories or all your sad stories, how you struggled for 20 years in your life to build this product to finally give it to me.
Correct.
And if that product is not making me feel like the hero it is, then there is no point in you narrating the whole story, right?
Correct.
I'll just feel sorry for you, maybe PayPal you $5 or buy you a coffee via that buy me a coffee link. Apart from that, your product is not going to scale. Your company is not going to be valuable. Right?
Beautiful. Yeah. Because in the origin story, the heroes are usually the people who have started.
Exactly.
Right? But in the brand story, right? Or the vision that they have.
Yes.
I think the heroes are the audience. This is what we want to.
Exactly. Right. So even if you take Steve Jobs as an example, most of us don't know the foundation story of why Steve Jobs started Apple.
Correct.
Most of us don't know. Even though they started differently, they pivoted, they done all sort of things. But right now we know the philosophy or the cause behind why Apple exists.
Right.
Is to make functionally foundation, beautifully designed products for people to use.
Right.
It might be put in a different sense here and there, but it's basically that default works. To put it simply, default works.
For me, I have a different perception. Yes. Because one of the stories that I liked, that connected me with Apple a lot, is a story Steve Jobs narrates about bicycles.
Okay.
Right? So he calls it the bicycle of the mind.
Yeah.
right? So every, let's say, humans are not the strongest or the fastest species in the
Yes.
world, right? So we have many animals
Yeah.
who can compete with us and can win.
Hmm.
But human mind can invent a bicycle, right? And it can drive faster
Yeah.
to, kind of escape.
Exactly.
And that's why we sit on the top of the food chain,
Yes.
probably, right? So this is what actually gave me the idea of why Apple exists, because they want to make these bicycles. So Steve,
Yes.
beautifully puts it,
Exactly.
bicycles of the mind.
I mean, he's the greatest engineer, right? The social engineer.
He's the greatest social engineer, and he's a, kind of orator, I would say. He's
Yeah.
the greatest orator
Yes.
of our times. And he put things in a very simple way,
Yeah.
but still it gave us the different perspective of what things are, right?
Exactly.
So I don't consider my laptop as a laptop, as a computer.
It's a
Bicycle
Mac.
for the mind. Bicycle for the
Bicycle
mind.
for the mind.
That's how I, kind of
Right.
perceive it. One more company I got, fascinated about, their storyline.
Yeah.
Right. So is, in a simple way, I'm talking about Todoist. I'm sure you would
Happy
like
paying customer for a
happy
very long
paying
time.
customer. And I'm proud to introduce that to you.
Yes.
Right. So it's been like a long time I've been using Todoist, and I try to evaluate a lot of productivity software and all that, like, personal productivity software.
Yes.
So it was like, it became my default.
Yeah.
I always came back to Todoist. Kind of a baseline.
Yes, that is the baseline.
Right? So people go out of Apple Notes, do all sort of stuff, and then come
back to Apple Notes.
Right? It's kind of a baseline.
Yeah.
For me, Todoist, it's like a baseline. Right? Todoist and Things are my baseline. Things is one more, beautifully designed
Things 3.
product. Things 3. I just like it for the design itself, right? So that is the kind of thing that they sell. They don't sell a software to manage your list.
Yes.
That is what it does. But they sell the software to make you productive.
Yeah.
Right? So they sell the software to manage the list, just to make you productive. The ultimate goal is to make you productive. Right? And any feature they add, anything that they add to the product, any experience that they add, it may be a feature or maybe a different kind of a platform, right? Let's say Todo is introducing it on mobile. Everything that they do connected to making you productive.
Yes.
Right? This is the kind of story that every product should have. Every good product should have.
Exactly.
Right?
The cause.
The reason to exist.
Exactly.
I feel like every product in this world has a reason to exist.
Exactly. See, even if you take Uber, for example, when we started talking about, I mentioned you how the founder was standing on rain once and did not get a cab. He solved that problem, but right now he just didn't solve that problem of getting cabs.
Correct.
He wanted to make sure that you have the best possible experience as a user and the most safest cabs on the world.
Correct.
Right. So that is what makes Uber different. I heard this somewhere in Nikhil Kamat's podcast where Dara, the current CEO, and Nikhil were talking. They were talking about Rapido, how they are undercutting prices and getting in the market. So Dara mentioned something very beautifully. Rapido is making 43 or 45 million in terms of revenue per year. Uber is making 45 billion. Right. So that is the difference between competing on price and competing on customer experience.
That's one way, and another side is like creating the category.
Exactly. Right? They created the category. They own the category. Right now they're a big joke because they invented bus again. But
no, it is a shuttle.
It's a shuttle. Yeah.
It's called shuttle.
As if we haven't heard of this in airports.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, jokes apart, they're a very thoughtful company, as I mentioned. They've never drifted off from their core philosophy.
Right.
And even when they introduced Uber Eats or Uber Parcels, I forgot the exact name, where they delivered parcels from here to there. It is expensive, but that is the cost that you pay for the best user experience ever. Right.
Yeah.
So that is something that I've always loved about Uber as well. And apart from the founder story, the company has a very strong philosophy or a very strong connect to the cause. They've never deviated from that cause. So even in the same podcast, he mentioned about how Ola deviated from their root cause. That is why whether we know, he doesn't know whether Ola will become a successful cab company or a cab aggregator company, or how will they'll do in EVs or anything like that, because they've moved on from the root cause.
Right.
Even though, as we mentioned, Apple might invent 1 million products, but their root cause will remain the same. Every single product they engineer or develop will be a bicycle to the mind.
Correct.
when they brought up Vision OS, I mean, apparently the last to the market,
Hmm.
but still it was still engineered in a way where I can wear the Vision OS for 2 hours
Correct.
and work as if I'm doing
Correct.
just sitting there and working.
Correct.
Right. So I even implemented this in my own companies as well.
Mm-hmm.
2 Paisa Club is an excellent example of this.
Okay.
When I first wrote the manifesto or mandate or the philosophy behind 2 Paisa Club, it was very simple. It is to make sure that people fell in love with reading books again, non-fiction books again. It was very clear.
Okay.
I'll have to get people to start reading non-fiction books again.
Okay.
Right now, we write newsletters. But if in the future things change, we'll make hoodies, we'll make mugs, we'll make desktop wallpapers, we'll make posters and stick it on walls.
Okay.
The medium through which we convey this message will be different. But the message will be the same. We'll want people to read more non-fiction books. That is the goal.
Great.
Right? The medium we'll do it after 5 years might be different. But what we're going to do is still the same.
Beautifully narrated. Yeah, I think that's how.
That is why 2 Paisa Club is one of my most favorite things that I've ever done.
Okay. Yeah. So it had the reason to exist.
Exactly.
Like, how was your experience with that? Like, like, have you heard of stories, people being hero? Because we talked about people being hero of the, the main story, the main
exactly
line. So what kind of interesting stories that you've got so far?
We actually solved the problem that we mentioned that was there with the people, and we got a lot of people who started reading books, so that they pushed us to make a paid community for people who are reading books.
Okay.
The audience pushed us to do this, and that means that whatever we're doing is working.
Beautiful.
We did not have a monetization model when we started. The goal was to monetize it with ads or probably book releases with authors and everything. But we never had this intention of making a paid community for people. Right? Because I thought like, okay, book clubs are something that doesn't work probably well, because I've never been a part of a book club. But people wanted that. The thing is that we got so much of people who started reading again, who fell in love with reading again. And the best part, most of us did not choose the books from our list.
Okay.
That was my most favorite part. Because the goal was not to get affiliate money or choose the books that I've recommended. It's for you to start reading non-fiction books again. Right. There's just one way of doing it.
Right. So it is kind of a medium that reminds people to start reading.
Every morning 9 a.m. you get an email notification from me. I wouldn't mind if you ignore that email and start reading your book. Because that is the goal it was intended to be.
Correct. So
I don't expect you to read the email.
Correct.
Just read the book.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautifully explained. So what are the other examples do you see of crazy stories like this?
There are quite a few. So Whole Truth is another nice story-driven company.
I like that product a lot.
Exactly. So whenever you think about Whole Truth, it's like they are fighting misinformation. So Correct. There are a lot of bad things, or there are a lot of gatekeeping things in terms of protein bars or vitamins or protein powders and everything. They are going to put it out in the open. Minimalist also operates in the same philosophy. Correct. Even though I have no idea what those words mean in the bottle, but they are there. They're just one Google search away. One Google search away, right?
Correct.
So that is the thing. They might have even put up jibber jabber, and I wouldn't have even found out. I've never Googled any of those names, but the thing is that just because they put it out there, that says everything. We are confident about our product, how we are building this or manufacturing this. Right. So yeah, you can go and check it up.
Right. I think the medium and all these part is like the product that they deliver, the value that they deliver is all part of the story. And good companies have less delta between what they do and what their story narrative is.
Exactly.
Right? The message and the execution, what they execute. So I think reducing that delta should be the goal for any
Elaborate
company.
A little bit on that
So I think let's say for example, when you are narrating a story or when you are saying that this is what your goal is, right? And for example, the bicycle of the mind, right? Or the whole truth. Let's take the whole truth example. That's a better example, I would say. The best part of whole truth that I like is it starts even with the name.
Yes, the whole truth.
The whole truth.
Yeah.
It just says the whole truth, right? So whatever I read in that packaging is going to be true.
Yeah.
Right? So everything is thoughtful. It looks thoughtful for us because that delta is lower between what they promise and what they are doing.
Exactly.
Right? It's like saying I'm going to be here at 9 p.m. And being there at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
right? That is the delta I'm talking about. So thinking about stuff, just polishing, saying the story for the sake of telling the story, right?
Most of the companies do that.
Most of the companies do that, right?
Stories
But
for the sake of
only a few companies, great companies, actually reduce that delta between saying and doing.
Exactly.
Right. So I think whole truth is one of the best examples that we can see, and everything that is written on the label.
Yes.
And I think one of the best compliment, I think probably for this brand, I would say personally I have experiences. I would give that product to my kid. Right.
Exactly.
There's no kind of beautiful way to express this. I would hand off a protein bar to my kid.
Yes, I think if a parent is willing to do it for his children,
correct.
I think that sums up how good the brand. That speaks volumes, right? So,
right.
And one company that fucked up royally in this term is Medium. We've both been a fan of Medium.
Don't get me started, please.
So for quite a long time, but yeah, they drifted apart from their core philosophy or ideology, and right now they are where they are.
Correct. I think they could have a beautiful caption now for the current scenario. Medium for clickbaits.
Right? I mean, if you go to Medium, once you start reading the titles, you will understand how not to write titles.
Correct.
That is the perfect place for you to learn how not to write any titles.
Or how to write clickbaits.
How to write clickbaits. So that you can go and work in a unethical media company.
Unethical media company. Yeah. It's horrible, man. But I like the experience that they started with.
Exactly. So when they started, they had this core ideology, the root cause and everything was very clear. But yeah, later on...
Again, that's the delta I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right? Because they are drifting away and the delta increases. Right? They want to make the place beautiful to read. Yeah. Right? They want to bring all the authors, best minds in the world. They want to make sure that they have best content. Yeah. But what do we have there?
It's not the best content.
That's not the best content.
Yeah.
And one of the best content I have seen recently from company like Every.2.
Exactly.
Right?
Big fan.
Beautiful. Dan Shipper. Beautiful, concepts, beautifully written. Right? And they use AI. Doesn't matter. Right? They are able to bring out that best kind of articles, the best taste, everything into the system.
When I was recommending Every to a friend, I told him something. So the thing is that we all have access to knowledge, but the thing is that it's the opinions that make us human. We follow people for opinions, right?
Correct.
So if someone is listening to this podcast, it's not that you could Google or chat GPT and understand the 6 points that we mentioned. It's just that you want to hear our perspective or our opinion on these things, right?
Correct.
Because you value us as individuals, and we do the same as well. So whenever you're listening to someone, you value their own perspective and opinion more than the actual learning itself. Right? So
true.
That's
what makes us human.
Yeah. A big fan of Every as well. So hopefully in the future, under Stupid Partner, we'll have multiple products like this under one single subscription. Yeah. Hopefully for the branding niche, where we can do a lot of things for $20 a month or $30 a month subscription, where we can build multiple products. Yeah.
Beautiful business model. I think one more thing I liked about is their recent plan that they have announced, the Act 2 part. I like the whole narrative of how they have explained it, right? So it's like, as a company,
the segment is just a love letter to Dan Shipper.
Correct.
We love you so much.
We love you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we live in the future.
Yeah.
We see what works there. We'll write about it. And we'll see what's not working there. We'll try to build. Fill that gap.
Yes.
Like it's like, solving the future's problem today, right? How the writing should be, rather than talking about what problems we have today. In writing, right? So they have released a new version of Spiral, a writing product, a product to write, content. Beautiful. The whole experience is different. And again, like we touched in the initial point, right? They understood the problem space really well. Right? They have all the nuances of how a writer would write.
Yeah.
Right? What if a writer is building a product to write, right?
So this is basically democracy in place. Correct. For the writers, by the writers, of the writers.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we talk about the delta.
Yeah.
Right? Even understanding the problem space, the delta is lower because they are the closest to the problem. When we did our product, Success, so we, my co-founder was actually working on the solutions engineering space.
Okay.
Right? He exactly knew what was the problem and how the space operated. Right? Even for me, initially, I had a little bit of a delta there. I couldn't understand the entire space. The very first question I have asked when he came up with the idea is, Why can't we do this with Asana or any project management tool?
Exactly.
Right? But the way that he explained, and when I went into the nuances, it was a different world altogether.
Nice.
And that's where the problem, the problem statements mattered, and it gave a lot of input to design the product in such a way that it is meant for solutions engineers.
Yes.
So that is like kind of my personal close example.
Yeah,
I would say.
So to sum this whole aspect, to sum this whole point up, the major point up, don't tell stories for the sake of it.
Correct.
Never ever do that. Never tell stories for the sake of it. Don't invent a fake story.
Correct. Pivoting is fine too.
Yeah, pivoting is fine, but don't tell a fake story.
Don't tell a fake story.
Don't try to find problems or don't find something like that.
Correct.
So the story that you own doesn't have to be your personal founder origin story. It can be about a problem statement.
It should be about.
It should be about a problem statement.
Space.
Yes, it should be about a problem space or the root cause of why the product exists. Right. So that is more the story than how you stumbled upon the idea.
Correct.
See, I would love to know how you stumbled upon the idea. But yeah, if the idea doesn't convey or talk to me, or if I don't have that problem, there is no point in me or you building that product. And
or
me
if
using
I,
it.
In a simple terms, if I don't want to be the hero of that movie,
exactly,
I don't want to, relate with that.
Relate with that product as well. So I think that sums this point up.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So now comes the fourth major point.
Yes.
Building long-term trust.
Correct.
I forgot what it is. Okay. So now comes the fourth major point, which is building long-term trust by fulfilling the promise in a very transparent way.
Right.
I know you have a lot of things to talk about here.
Correct.
Two of the major food delivery partners.
I think we both.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct. So trust. I think trust is the one factor which runs the entire economy, is what I feel.
True.
Right. So for every business to connect with the consumer, to sell them something, for the transaction to happen, trust is very important.
Exactly.
Right? And trust is actually the factor. It's kind of a tunnel, is how I see. Right. So once that tunnel is established, so people would basically have a transaction throughout the course of their engagement with the company.
Yes.
And companies call them LTVs, right? Lifetime value.
Lifetime value.
So I think it's important to build the long-term trust.
Yeah.
For every company.
Yes.
Right. If they want to stay in the business for long term. Right.
And or you can build something called trust as a service.
Trust as a
escrow.
service. Escrow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beautiful point. So trust as a service, right? Something like that. It has to happen for every company. Like we discussed in the previous point, the company has to have a story. Same way, the company has to have a factor for people to trust, people to, kind of. Yes. Every stakeholder is important.
Exactly.
Right? Including the business.
Yeah.
Right? Even the trust has to go both ways, right? The business has to trust the consumers, the consumers have to trust the business. Yeah. So that's how the two-way transaction happens.
Yes.
Now, I think the delivery, companies, the delivery platforms, as we call it, this kind of companies, I don't see the problem. The problem is, I don't see their business model itself is built for trust in any way, right? And every stakeholder of that business model is losing in some or the other way.
Yes.
Right. So look at the food cost that we have. The first point I would say is like inflating the food cost.
Exactly.
Right. And
seems like an untrustworthy thing to do.
Untrustworthy thing to do, because if I can go to a shop or a restaurant and if I find that food in a different price,
I feel cheated.
I feel cheated. Yeah. And that is not the best way to build the trust, right? And when you look at certain things, it gives me a lot of question. And when I talk to people, kind of, it becomes debate and argument. I've even tweeted some famous celebrities on Twitter. I mean, Twitter folks, basically. They posted something in favor of all these delivery platforms and claiming that, this is a convenience cost you have to pay. I have no problem paying the convenience cost.
Just be open about it.
Just be open about it, right? Yeah. If you need, if you need this much of amount to deliver the food, why don't you be open about it?
Yes.
Instead of inflating the food cost.
Exactly.
Right. It will increase the trust. And if you cannot be transparent about it, because the companies feel that the users won't use it, they're in the problem. Isn't that what we call a scam? by definition.
Even though it's not scam and a right to, as you mentioned previously,
Right.
No one is getting benefit out of this.
No one is getting benefit. Even the companies are saying, it's running
the
on
companies
loss.
are running on losses. The people who are delivering the food products are not happy. I mean, the delivery partners are not happy. The restaurants manufacturing the foods are not happy.
Correct.
And the users are not happy because of the higher cost. So the four major stakeholders are not happy. Even the companies, VCs, the funding these companies are not happy.
Ultimately, no.
Ultimately not happy. Ultimately not. So
this is the point which I kind of think about. Like every time you talk to a delivery partner, they're unsatisfied in some or the other way.
Yes.
Right? Because they have to kind of hustle for about 12 hours, 14 hours to get certain amount of money to kind of make the living. And on the other side, consumers are complaining about the inflated food cost.
Yeah.
Restaurants, again, if you go and ask like why is there
they'll
two different prices,
victim card.
They play the victim card, right? They say like companies are charging 30% or 25% and above, and we have to pay that. And this is how we can make it
the only way they can
the only way they can pay.
I've run a restaurant. I know that is the only way to do it.
Exactly, it's a pain point, right? So entirely, this entire model, the business model, I think it is flawed.
Yeah.
If there is some other way to, and it is basically flawed because it doesn't run on trust.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, asking, I feel it this way that, the company is going to a restaurant and saying like, if I ask this person, he won't pay. Just you get the money and give it to me. Right?
That is cheating. That is scam.
That is called scam.
That is called definition of scam. Right?
Definition of scam.
Yeah. So what happens is that whenever I come across this concept of trust, and whenever we talk about building a brand, trust is probably the foundation of everything, right? So there comes the difference, or most of the problem comes when people don't understand the difference between credibility and trust.
Okay.
Someone can look at their, let's say for example, if someone comes and looks at my website, they'll look at my experience, they'll look at the companies that I've worked at or my portfolio and everything. They'll understand that I'm a credible person.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that, that's credibility. Just my accolades and my experience and my so-and-so portfolio and everything is just
what
credibility.
What you've done so far.
What I've done so far is credibility. Trust is when they have to know that, okay, I'm the right person to solve this problem for them. That is when the trust is built.
Okay.
And there is actually a 3-step way for you to go from nobody to building a brand.
Okay.
With trust. Okay. The first thing is when you make a sale. To make a sale, you need to have credibility.
Right.
That is social proof. Right.
Right.
Once you have a social proof, someone makes a purchase. That means that you made a sale.
Correct.
And once you made a sale, if the customer comes back for the second time, that means that they trust you.
Right.
Because you solved a problem for them.
Right.
Right. All this marketing and gimmicks and everything can bring you the first sale.
Correct.
But they cannot build trust. Only the product can build trust.
Correct. Right.
Product or service or course, whatever that you're offering is what builds trust.
Right.
Once the trust is built, if I'm willing to put my own image and my own opinion online and recommend someone back to you, that is when it means that you built a brand.
Okay.
Right. So I've shamelessly recommended native M1 to you. Right. That means that I'm putting my reputation online so that you become a satisfied customer. I'm not getting paid on affiliate or anything. Hopefully I should. I've recommended multiple people for that. Yeah, I've recommended multiple people for this product. But that is the fundamentals, right? But people immediately jump to the third part without doing the first two. See, you are a nobody. No one is going to trust you. Build some credibility first. That is why we see a lot of people offering $1 products, free guides, free offering in terms of review, in terms of review. It's all to build this credibility.
Correct. The whole pipeline.
Yeah, the whole pipeline. You can't skip this pipeline. You directly can't start building trust.
Right.
Without credibility, there is no trust involved.
Right.
Without trust, there is no brand built.
It has to happen in the same sequence.
Exactly. This has to go for this same pipeline has to go for every single person that interacts with your brand or interacts with the company.
Okay.
Because calling it a brand without the brand is kind of a scam. It's another scam, right? You're not starting a brand.
Correct.
You're starting a company.
Correct.
The brand is built later.
Right. Okay.
You don't start with the brand.
Correct. You don't start with the brand.
You don't start with the brand. You start with the company. You start with the foundation problem and you turn that problem into a solution, and the solution becomes a company.
Beautiful.
And that company in time or over the period of few years becomes a brand. When people start recommending you without you paying them any money or begging them for referrals.
Correct. They become your salesperson.
Exactly. They become your salespeople for you.
Correct.
But what we do is that we immediately jump to the last part.
Correct. And that's where I think in digital products,
yes,
I hate the concept of NPS.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Because it doesn't directly, as you said, as you rightly said.
As a branding person, that is the worst possible thing for you to do.
Worst possible, right? As you rightly said, it directly jumps to the last part of the
Exactly.
system, right? It doesn't deliver the trust, or it doesn't have the initial sale. In
Yes.
some cases, I've seen some products, I couldn't recollect the names, but I've seen some products even showed me the NPS score and the free trial. Right? Because I haven't even made a sale. The transactions even didn't happen.
Yes.
Right? But I think that's something which people
There's a
have to
difference
think
between showing social proof and NPS, right?
Correct.
So NPS happens. NPS is something that you shouldn't be proud of. That is not something that you show publicly. That is something probably for your investor deck or for your
Correct.
sales deck, right?
Correct.
It's not for something that you put out publicly.
Correct.
Just because 10 people have recommended your product doesn't mean that it is good.
Correct.
I have to experience it first. You have to build me credibility. Just by showing that someone is recommending doesn't mean that it is credible.
Correct. And also, it doesn't talk about it talks about in the future sense, in a future tense, right?
Yes.
Like, would you recommend this product to somebody? And
I think
data
there
is
will be much
actually
more. Yeah, let's say for example, I've used the product for 20 days. So on the 21st day, I'm logging into the platform. If there is a pop-up link saying that, hey, can you recommend my product for product with one of your friends, and there's a link to copy, I'll most probably just copy the link and paste it to someone.
Correct.
That is more likely to happen than asking me for 1 out of 10 score.
Exactly. Or probably it could ask like if you have recommended someone already.
Even that doesn't make sense. Just ask me to recommend. You've been using it continuously for 20 days.
Correct.
It means that the product is good, or at least I'm solving the pain point.
Correct.
Can you recommend?
Yeah.
That is much more triggering than anything.
Correct. Exactly. Right? Because it has an intent. It has it's an action that people can take.
Exactly.
And instead of just saying I would.
Yeah.
And also, I don't understand from 1 to 10. Right? Is it like how many people will I recommend this? Or
I have three friends. I'm not going to recommend 10 people.
Correct. Exactly. Like I don't totally understand that. So coming back, I know you have a pretty different perspective on certain things about trust, and you have beautifully defined the whole pipeline of how this trust is built.
Yeah.
And you, in our conversations, you have explained about another concept which is called pipeline and platform.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I know it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So there are two kinds of business or business ecosystem, as you may call it. So one is called pipeline design. The other one is called platform design. But the problem arises is when a concept has to function like a platform, functions like a pipeline.
Okay.
A perfect example of this is education system.
Okay.
Right. So education system is like a platform. You come into college. There are professors, there are multiple stakeholders, there are companies hiring from them, there are a lot of talent pools, there are a lot of events happening. It is supposed to be a platform for you to experience multiple things, and there is value for every single stakeholder in it. Right. But that is not the way in reality it is happening. It's like a pipeline.
Right.
You come in, you get a degree, you graduate, you fuck off.
Correct.
Right? You don't come back to me ever again.
Correct.
That is how it has been treated in India, at least in India.
Correct.
I know it is not the same in the other Western countries, because most of them carry their college names with a lot of pride and trust, and they even come back to their alma mater after 5 years,
Correct.
10 years.
And they feel it is a platform.
They feel it is a platform for them to do it. And even I went to one of the best colleges in Tamil Nadu, and I don't even think we have an alumni community there. I would love to be a part of it. I went to one of the best colleges in Tamil Nadu. I don't know what to name it, but if you can find it on my LinkedIn profile, you can.
With a simple search, I think everybody can.
Exactly. But the thing is that they don't even have an alumni network, right? So, which was supposed to be a platform for me to get off ground, it is a pipeline. I graduated from school. I came to college. I went through 5 years of college. I graduated. Now you're saying bye-bye to me. That is not how things are supposed to be, right? So that is the difference between platform design and a pipeline design. See, a pipeline is like a manufacturing unit. There is raw materials, you put it there, it goes to 7 systems, it comes out as a finished product, it goes to market. This is pipeline. This is not platform. This is not where multiple stakeholders come in and get value out of it. This is how pipeline design is supposed to be. But platform design is different. But the thing is that when most of the time these platforms crumble, or when some problems come to these platforms, the economy starts acting up. What happens if 20 of the biggest education institutions in Tamil Nadu fall? It leads to an economic crash.
Right.
That is most of the reasons why they let them stay as they are.
Right.
So
it has to kind of,
for the social construct of it, inevitably
like
function that way,
pipeline.
Right? There is no other way just to let it live.
Correct.
So something like that.
I think you have come from a tech background, like you've worked on many tech companies, and I'm on the contrasting opposite because I haven't been to school.
Yeah.
Right. Even a day. Now, I think I'm getting a lot of idea for our next different podcast. I think we should talk about education and how education is evolving in the future.
Yeah, very well.
But now, I think that's for a different podcast for a different day. But now come back to, let's talk about the pipeline part. I think you've given a beautiful example about colleges and how it should function like a platform.
Yes.
Right? What kind of companies should function like a pipeline?
If you're manufacturing something, selling something, function like a pipeline. Let's say, for example, Whole Truth Foods needs to function like a pipeline.
Okay.
You have a raw material, you get customers, you sell it to them.
Okay.
You keep doing the supply again and again.
Okay.
Right. But platform is something like Amazon. You need to value all your stakeholders. You need to satisfy the buyers. You need to satisfy the customers. You need to satisfy your organization.
Right.
You need to satisfy the investors. You need to satisfy the people who bought stake in the company. You have to satisfy all those kind of people, right? So it's like an aggregator model.
Right.
So Amazon is like an aggregator model. So you have to satisfy all those all these people, right? This happens to almost every single aggregator. Let's take Rapido. Let's take even the delivery apps that we complained about is kind of a platform design, right? They have to make sure that the delivery partners are happy, the company is happy, the people who are funding the product is happy, the restaurants who are there on the platforms are happy, and the users using it are happy.
Correct.
This has to be a platform design.
Platform design, correct. Not the pipeline.
Not the pipeline.
Okay.
But yeah, the problem comes when most of them act as a pipeline.
Okay. Now, do you think the businesses can function both as pipeline and platform?
I'm not very sure about that.
Okay.
I think it has to be either this way or that way. I might be wrong because on top of my mind, I can't think about a company that can function as both. Either you have to be a platform or you have to be a pipeline.
Okay.
Right. So that is something. I think that sums up about it. So
exactly.
Whenever you want to build trust, whenever you want to build a brand, start with credibility, then go to trust, and then go to brand. Don't start there. You start a company, build credibility, build trust, and then build a brand.
Correct. And that credibility happens from sales transactions.
Yes, right? That only happens in transaction. Either you can offer free products. Obviously, you can offer free products for testimonials or for Google reviews or Trustpilot reviews. However you feel like it, right? That only builds your credibility. Right. That doesn't generate multiple sales, right? Once it is done, you will generate your first sale. So that is why a lot of companies have this low-hanging fruit, $1 products. Even I have a $1 product, low-hanging fruit. But I try to give you immense value, as much as value as possible, so that you come back to me for the next one.
Beautiful.
And when you come back to me for the next one, that is when the actual trust is being built.
Correct.
That is the starting point of being the trust being built. And if I deliver the promise that I'm offering you in the second one, the trust is built.
Trust is built.
The beautiful, not the beautiful thing, the most interesting thing is that it takes a lot of time to build trust, and it just takes 20 seconds to shatter everything.
Okay.
And once the trust is lost, it is very hard for someone to regain the trust back.
I know what you're pointing to. I know your personal experience about WakeFit.
Yeah, I think WakeFit is something. WakeFit is something that did that again. And most of the companies, they know how to build trust. I think they need to also understand that what happens if they break them?
Right.
What happens if shit goes sideways? They need to have a fail-safe plan. As I mentioned initially,
resilience.
They need to have an insurance or kind of things that happens when the trust breaks.
Right.
See, one simple thing to do is sometimes more than offering refunds, even if you give 100% refund, if you can actually talk to me to understand what problem that I faced, most of the time I might not even need the refund.
Correct.
I might not even need the refund. Right. So this is something that I do personally as well. So this is not me just randomly recommending you this thing. Whenever you buy a course from me, if you're not happy, I don't offer you a refund. I'll offer you personal consultation till you get to your goal. That personal consultation is for free.
Right.
And
because there's always a goal for someone to buy.
And in turn, you help me fine-tune the course. You give me all the inputs that you can so that I can make this better.
This is a beautiful point.
I'll get you to your solution. You paid me $1 or $10, doesn't matter. If I failed you, I'll get you there.
I'll help you reach the goal.
I'll help you reach the goal.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's cost me $5,000.
Beautiful.
It doesn't matter.
I think this is the...
Yeah, but if you're trying to scam me, I'll just say fuck off and leave. Let's say, for example, you bought a course without reading the sales page and asked me that I wanted something, there is something. If it is not there on the sales page, if there's a mistake that I made, I'll get you to the point.
Right.
That is why I don't offer refunds.
So it's like, what you have promised.
Yes.
And you're ready to deliver that.
Exactly.
Okay. Now that's a beautiful point because I have a similar, connotation. I look at things in certain way, especially for building new products. When you're building a new SaaS platform or any software product, or any product for that matter, I think a lot of software companies, they start with free trials or kind of giving some lifetime offers and stuff like that. I feel like the purpose of that is not just to make that transaction, but to gain the feedback of
Exactly.
people, right?
That's
in the initial stage, feedback is the fuel.
Yes.
That will kind of help you take it.
Exactly.
Because money, revenue, all that part we could understand, but without the feedback, without understanding what works, what does not work for the audience.
Exactly.
I think no business is going to even kind of look at the tunnel.
Yes.
Rather than just, we are talking about the pipeline of building the trust and all that, but without the feedback of the user, I don't think it is going to help anyone to even look at the pipeline.
Exactly.
Right? Because the sale does not happen, the transaction does not happen. Transaction might happen for an offer, or probably it is free, or kind of a trial or anything. But once that experience is given, you have to verify and understand what works, what does not work. Right. So that's, I think, is a beautiful point. We have.
I just want to point out one more company that is doing this, the wrong way. We all know Max Fashion. Max
Fashion, yes.
I've never seen someone purchase on Max unless there is a discount.
Okay.
So that is bad. That is straight out bad. That is why you see Max burning a lot of their inventory, destroying a lot of their inventories, because they foundationally operated in a manner where the company runs on discounts.
Correct.
Just for the sake of it, they put it at 2,000 rupees and slash it down to 700 rupees. Right. But just that whenever you walk into Max Fashion, if you don't see a discount in your bill, you get disappointed to the core. Even though you like the particular jeans or t-shirt or whatever that you bought, but you get disappointed to the core. Right? I think any company that is built on discounts is bad. There are very few companies that can pull this off properly.
I have the same
feeling. There are very, 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 very few companies that have pulled this off properly. One being Jio. Jio started out as free, then slowly moved to a pricing range. They've undercutted the entire market. They put it on different equilibrium. Now they're raising the prices again.
But that I don't think I can equate it with Max.
Not equate it to Max.
Or similar, even similar company, because they are kind of duopolies of...
Exactly.
We have no other choice.
We have no other choice.
Right? Except of another monopoly or duopoly kind of situation. So now coming back, feedbacks, right? What do you think is the best way to get feedback from the consumer? Because I have a certain thing on the mind. We compromise on the price, we give discounts, all this in return to the feedback, right? But most of the time, even as consumers, we don't talk about stuff, or we don't give feedback unless there is a problem, or we are wowed by the experience, right? In between, is there something that companies can do to kind of gain the feedback?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Simple answer, no. See, the thing is that, as you mentioned, we as users, we don't like giving feedback. We don't like writing to the company saying that, hey, this and this. That is why most of the time we just put 5-star reviews. We don't write a comment.
Right. Correct.
It is easier for us to put a 5-star review or a 4-star review, but we don't write a comment because it is work.
Effort.
Unless and until, as you mentioned, I am mind blown by it, I wouldn't write a review.
Okay.
Right. Same thing goes to the product feedback as well. See, unless and until there is a clear value exchange, this clear mind blown value exchange, I wouldn't write a feedback. That is why initially, when most of the thing launches, there are, as you mentioned, lifetime deals or hugely discounted deals for the first 50 people in return for feedback. That is why companies or SaaS tools launch, AppSumo or Micro launch, and all these kind of companies to gain their first 50 customers who will actually give them feedback for a discounted price. Right. Most of the companies I've seen, I've actually got up products in a couple of these companies, and they cancel your license if you don't give feedback. I've seen a couple of companies do that as well, which is not right, because that is something that I did not sign up for. Correct. You mentioned there is a discounted price and you asked me for feedback. Correct. You never put it on my purchase saying that this is mandatory.
Correct.
True. You never put it as mandatory, right? Because even for the $1 product that I offered, I've sold 200, 300 plus $1 products in the past couple of months. I think I've hardly gotten 5 or 7 feedbacks, but I'm okay with it. You did not put a checkbox on the purchase page saying that, okay, I will offer you a video testimonial, or I will offer you feedback.
Correct.
I told you that, okay, this is something that I expect. Correct. Even though I made sure that is mandatory, I didn't put it on a contract.
Correct.
There is no reason for me to enforce it as well.
But that happens in the enterprise sales.
Yeah, that happens in
We have
enterprise
done
sales.
that.
Yeah. When you have contracts for $1 products, that is not a $1 product.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, right? So that is how things are. So unless and until they're moved by it, they're mind blown by it, they will not offer you feedback. And to gain actual feedback, you need to give them some incentive to do so.
Okay, that's interesting.
So even you take Senja, for example, Senja testimonial tool, for example, you can program rewards for people who give you testimonial.
Right.
That is one of the reasons why you get a lot of testimonials. So
isn't that bribing?
Yeah, that is bribing, but yeah, that is the only way for you to gain actual feedback.
Okay.
That is the only way. Without incentive, humans don't give out feedbacks.
Okay, that effort, incentive.
Incentivized. That is bribing, but yeah, incentivized. Internet has termed it as incentivization.
Incentivizing, right.
Yeah.
That's a decent term.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Amazing. I think that's... Should we move to the next point?
Next point. The fifth core point of what makes a product truly valuable. It adapts to user feedback, elevates their standards, and evolves together.
Right.
Very chat GPT-ish, but I don't expect an answer that kind of from you.
Right. Okay. So, but I think it all three has a valid point.
Yes.
So we'll talk about it and we'll see where we land.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we have talked about the feedback, the importance of feedback, why feedback is a fuel for every new business, every new company, and to establish that as a brand. And in your phrasing, brand pipeline, how it starts with the sale, trust, and the it becomes a brand at the end.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the products or the businesses are built for consumers, users, ultimately. Right.
If not, then you don't have a business.
We don't have a business.
You are having fun.
Having fun, right?
Yeah.
So if we are building for users, we are building for consumers or people, right? Understanding what they feel about it is the core element of every business.
Yes.
Right. And the best companies that we can look at, we say it in different terms, right? Customer support, customer service, quality of service.
Exactly.
All different terms. It means one thing. Understanding what feedback customers give and adopting to that.
Yeah.
Right? Delivering what they want. So if the company fails to deliver what it promises, consumers will be the first people who will tell you more than your team, more than yourself, right? As a business person. And every feedback has, kind of stuff wrapped around it. So you go into the depth, you understand the layers, you understand the meaning, and then you bring out the best out of the, kind of extract the best out of the feedback.
Exactly.
When we usually talk about feedbacks, people quote, Henry Ford, right? They talk about all
this thing. Yeah.
market research stuff and all that. They say if I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have asked
faster horses.
Faster horses, right? So this is always the case, and that's why people kind of sometimes reluctant about the feedback as well.
Yes.
Right? They don't know what we are building, and they are not aligning.
Yeah.
Every excuse that we have to not collect feedback or not listen to it or not to extract stuff is a mistake on the company part, not on the consumer part. Right? Yeah. So if somebody is saying that your product does not deliver this, and you say that your product did not promise this, that is a gap. The end user did not understand what you promised.
There's a problem in the messaging. Go fix it.
Exactly. So this is something which you have to understand. So every feedback comes with a message and an intent.
Yes.
Right. In the same narrative, when you take Henry Ford's example, right? Henry Ford looked beyond the message.
Yeah.
Right. They looked at what the intent is.
Yes.
When people asked better horses, I'm pretty sure they would have asked better horses. Right. And if they, kind of asked faster horses, for what? Is the question.
To go to someplace faster. I want to save time.
Exactly. To save time, faster. To reach there faster, to reach the destination faster. Right? But that's the keyword here. That's the intent.
Exactly.
And if you could give something better than a horse, it would work. That's what we are seeing in real life. We have cars now.
Exactly.
Right. So that's I think is a fundamental understanding of how feedback should be perceived.
Yes.
Extracted its value. There's always a message and an intent. Understand the intent, you fix a lot of stuff.
That is
true. If you just work on the message, I don't think you can extract a lot.
Yes. I think this comes down to how you ask feedback and whom you ask feedbacks for. So even whenever I talk to people who are in the foundation level, I tell them, first of all, go find your villains so that you can ask them what is that you're doing wrong, or what is that is not working out for you. If you go ask your mom or your friends, they'll say, hey, this is good job, Kanan. Awesome, you're doing really good. Keep going. They'll just give you motivation, right? But that is not real feedback.
Correct.
There's an amazing book called Mom Test that is circled around this entire concept on how to get feedback.
Correct.
If you're someone who's starting out, please go read Mom Test for once, or at least ChatGPT the core idea or summary of what Mom Test is if you're a fast learner. But yeah, that book conveys everything, right? It is all about asking feedback. You don't go and ask them, hey, you have a bike, is there a problem with your bike?
Correct. That's not the right way to ask.
That's not the right way to ask. Right? But when you start building up real conversation, when you start asking the right questions, the right answer pops up.
Correct. True.
Exactly. True. So if you say, for example, there is one thing that happened, even though I don't support the whole idea of it, but I think this is how the particular product evolved. We spoke about EVs, right? Before recording this podcast, we spoke about EVs, right? So the battery swap is something that happened after user feedback, because no one wants to wait in a petrol pump or an electric petrol pump or an electric pump for more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes. No one wants that, and no one has time.
Right.
Let's say, for example, you click a button, you take this out, you put this in, you can move. That is amazing. But the thing is that they fail to understand another new thing. See, my bike is 3 months old. You're giving me a battery that is 4 years old. Why would I want to put this in my bike?
Correct.
I just paid for it 3 months ago. I had a new battery. Why are you taking it away?
Correct. So that's a challenge.
That is a challenge.
Correct.
So this is the first set of problems. So now you have to go back to think about how to charge the batteries faster. You can't have batteries saying that, okay, these are 3 months old, these are 6 months old, these are 8 months old, 12 months old. That is not practically possible, right?
Correct.
So this is something that evolved from user feedback, and it is still evolving. I think this is how you have to start collecting feedback.
Correct.
Most of the time, the reason why people don't want to use EV is because of how long they are traveling.
Correct.
But let's say, for example, someone who's going and coming to the office was riding, 10, 15 kilometers away. That is pakka.
Correct.
Problem solved. But for people who are doing longer travel, they would want the solution.
Correct. True.
I think that is when the hybrids are starting to emerge. You can also pump in petrol. You can also use EV. It is interchangeable based on your destination or the distance you're traveling. I think that is a beautiful solution.
And it's a beautiful solution, as you said. It also helps in emergency situations.
Exactly.
When you cannot recharge your car, or you forgot to put it on charge.
I'm someone who does that.
Right. We all do.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's you have a beautiful point in collecting the intent, right? So I think what you have explained is talking about the intent.
Yeah.
There are nuances, right? Why people would not want to use a swappable battery.
Yes.
Is a nuance, right? And with every nuance, with every understanding about the market, understanding about the consumers, understanding about the product, altogether builds up into something evolving, right? And I think one of the, coming back to the Apple example, one of the best thing I could see in the Apple's example of messaging is bicycles of the mind. They're not just building a bicycle for the mind. They're building the best bicycles for the mind. Right? So that is kind of a narrative that they have set. When they are releasing something, when they are coming up with a product iteration, they actually elevate the user's standard along with their product. Right?
Yes.
There's nothing like iPhone.
Yeah.
Right? There's many smartphones.
Because there is only one iPhone. There are smartphones, there is an iPhone.
There's an iPhone.
Yeah.
And they kind of increase the standards of how we perceive things or how we experience stuff. So I think that is my second point here in the same in the same line. It should evolve the standards of the end user. It should empower them. It should evolve that standard. It should kind of raise the bar. Right? Another beautiful quote from Steve again here, right? So be the yardstick of the quality.
Exactly.
So that is kind of things which I would say comes only if you start accepting feedback.
Yes.
Right? If you start accepting feedback, not just the good ones, right? Not just the ones that praises you, but also the ones that is criticizes you or says the bad thing about it.
Yes.
In fact, you want more criticizing feedback than ever when you're starting, right, in a business.
I think I do this on my newsletter. Okay, the Stupid Puna newsletter. I have an unsubscribe survey. It's not mandatory to unsubscribe. So once you hit unsubscribe, you say
it's not mandatory to unsubscribe.
Yeah. It's not mandatory to unsubscribe.
I get that.
Yeah. So once you unsubscribe, we show you a page saying that, okay, I seriously want to improve. If there's some feedback that you can give me, please share your thoughts. Right. So one of the most common things I heard was that you're writing daily. Don't write daily. Right. So initially my thought was that, okay, this is something that I like doing. Is it solving a real problem for the customer? If it's not, then let's leave. Okay. Then what happened was that once we started selling the courses, we started seeing sales. So that means that people who are unsubscribing or who are not liking that I'm writing daily are not my ideal customers.
Correct.
If there is zero sales,
correct,
I would agree to the fact that, okay, this is something that is annoying people.
Right.
But if it's only annoying a handful of people and I'm generating revenue, that means that it is not suitable for that kind of people. Right. Even to some extent, what we've done is that we've stripped out almost all of our video courses. It is just email courses as of now. Right. Because you have a habit of reading my emails, why don't I do more by teaching you more on email?
True.
Why should I go and find out an entirely new different format?
Correct.
I think people like this email courses more than the video courses because there is actually live feedback.
Correct.
You just reply to the email and talk to me.
Correct. It's like a consultation but async.
Exactly, async consultation, because that is the exact feedback we got on the first video course. The course was amazing. So there were 35 people who bought our premium courses. We had one critical feedback. It was very simple. They told us that it was very simple. The worksheet was amazing to use. I think they followed all the steps, but they did not know that whether it was right or wrong.
Okay.
How much ever I tried to automate it, it did not work.
Correct.
They wanted to know if it was right or wrong.
The feedback.
Yes, because this is a very subjective answer. This is not something, let's say for example, okay, not to undermine any skill here. Let's say for example, if you're writing a Python script, it's writing a Python script. Okay. You read this, you look at this is how you build it, you do it, there's a solution there. You validate it yourself.
Correct.
If the code is running on the compiler, it is working. Okay. But it's not same when it comes to brand strategy, right? You don't know whether what you've done is right or wrong. I followed their example. I've done it. I don't know whether it will work for my brand or not. I want actual human feedback to tell me whether it's right or wrong.
Correct.
I think that was the fundamental problem in the first course. We did not know it until we spent 2 lakhs building that course.
Okay.
Right. See, even though we made the money back,
right,
it was a horrible experience for the people.
Right.
It was a horrible experience for the people.
Right.
So what we did, we switched to email course, which by the way took us 7 days to develop because it was 21 days of emails.
Right.
I love writing emails. And right now, almost every single one, we even made a custom GPT to answer a little bit basic and questions.
Good.
For all this emails and based on your feedback. So that is what we did. Whenever I get questions, those are so thoughtful. People actually want to know the answer. People want to actually get my feedback. They're loving the whole experience.
Right.
I've sold 35-40 people for this email course and I don't think I've had one negative feedback about the course.
Beautiful.
I think that is good. A few things people wanted to explain a little better further and those things are there, but no one has asked for a refund. Correct. No one has complained that this is not solving the problem. Correct. And they love the fact that they can just reply and talk to me.
Correct. This is what happens when you care.
Exactly. This is what started happening because coming from a tech background, the default thing to do was to build a video course.
Right. True.
Right. That was like default, like the first rule of thumb. Want to make a course, start a camera. Yeah, rule of thumb.
Right.
Want to make a course, write the script, sit in front of a camera, talk, record, cut, send. Once the recorded course is successful, build a live cohort. This is what we understood from EdTech.
Correct.
But that doesn't work really well, right?
Correct. Yeah, there are like this is where the nuances. I'm again talking about the nuances, right? So there may be some status quo, there may be things that work already, right? But you still have to experiment. Yeah. Like new brands, new stuff. As you always say, right? Better doesn't cut it anymore.
Yes. Right? Better doesn't cut it anymore. Yeah, you have to be different. And I think that is what gives you more feedback. How do you be different comparative to other products? Is like you get the feedback and you evaluate it, you experiment stuff and you bring something new to the market is where you understand. And this can happen only if you start understanding the intent and the message of the feedback altogether. Right? Exactly.
And about
I just want to add one more point as well. As you mentioned about better is not enough, you have to be different. I think Notion and Google Workspace is the perfect example. Fundamentally, they both solve the same problem.
Correct.
They help you build docs, worksheets, do all those sort of
document stuff.
Document stuff, right? Same for Notion and Google Workspace as well, right? But when people hear that I use a Notion, the approach or the way they look at me is different. He's a Notion architect. He builds stuff on Notion. He uses Notion. He's a productivity expert.
Right.
That is the image or that is the thing that I feel because they've portrayed that Notion is different.
Correct.
And people look at me different.
Correct.
Even not for me.
It's a different perception.
Perception of me.
People associate you with the brand.
Exactly. If I send a Google Docs, it's unprofessional. If I send a Notion doc, it's professional.
It's professional.
That is how it has become.
The same thing.
Even though this is fundamentally the same thing.
Stuff. Yeah.
Sometimes Google Doc does it better. Sometimes Notion does it better. Correct. It depends upon platform to platform.
Correct.
Right. that is what difference means. It's not enough to be better anymore. You have to be different.
You have to be different and different personas and on that. And I think you talked about the ICP.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So one thing I always think about ICPs is that it is important for any business to know who their ICP,
yes,
and what their ICP is,
yeah,
right? Even more important, once you figure it out, even more important is that your non-ideal customers should know that they are not your ideal customers.
That is why I have a section on my website saying that who this course is not for.
Not for, exactly. So I think they should be clear, because that's how you qualify.
Yes.
And feedback, even though it is a good feedback coming from a kind of a person who's not in your ideal customer profile, you have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Right. You have to understand if it is really my audience. If the value is there, if there is a genuine feedback about something very basic or something very fundamental, it can be a valuable feedback.
Exactly.
Right? But if it is coming from the perspective of people who are not your ideal audience,
yes,
right, I don't think it has to be critically evaluated.
Yes.
And one more beautiful point you mentioned is feedbacks go both ways.
Yes.
Right. Like even the users needed feedback in your course, right?
Yeah.
They have written something and they want to make sure that if it is right.
Exactly.
Right. As the same, it goes with the both sides. It's a kind of a two-way lane.
Exactly.
And that's why I like the tagline, or this is a label that I've seen in a restaurant, in a KFC restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? It says like, feed us back.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful line. I like that. So that's, I think, elevating the standard, right?
Exactly.
And the third section in this, topic that we are talking about is like evolving together, right? So your ICP grows, right? Like you said, I think it can be defined in a platform pipeline kind of way also, right? So if it is a pipeline, your ICP never grows, right? Somebody comes in, graduates
and
leaves. But if you are the platform, your ICP grows.
Yeah.
Right? They have different needs. They have evolving needs. It may be relevant to even the people who are on the pipeline kind of category as well, because the pipelines change as well. So
you can have multiple pipelines.
Multiple pipelines and stuff. Or even the same pipeline probably will have a bit different need. But with the platforms, definitely, I think it requires a lot of stuff. Again, we were talking about the education side. I think we should definitely do a podcast episode on that, a dedicated episode on that. Yeah. But I think the education requires a different kind of approach today, right? Because the audience has evolved, and you have to grow together, right? We cannot do the same, style of schooling or same style of, education.
It just doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work anymore.
Just doesn't work anymore.
It has to evolve. Every good brand, every good company, every good product evolves with the user.
Yes.
It grows together. Right? It's like, happily ever after kind of situation. It grows together. It goes like, it's kind of like that. So I think that summarizes the point. So what do you think is a brand that is grown together with you from your, childhood or, along your journey that grown together?
I think Apple has done a pretty good job. It started with one product and
that was my answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Apple is, I think Apple is the only proper example. And I would say Hero is also another company. I started with Hero cycles, then got a Hero bike, then got a Hero car. So I think Hero has done a pretty good job in that sense as well. So yeah, a couple of companies. And I think most of the time what happens is that home appliances is something that we stick to in one company. That is also something that we do.
Okay.
Multiple products but under the same roof. So most of us want that because they're satisfied with one product. So there is not much wrong that you can do with the other one. So
correct. Something that we've been using it since the childhood.
Yeah.
Like, our early days to early adulthood to, till this date.
Yes.
I think I could also think about one brand, which is Apple. I think that is something which we have always been appreciated. And it is like, part of our work, part of our life now. Kind of a brand. But I think there are
I wish Apsara or Nadraj made a remarkable kind of tablet so that I can buy them.
Yeah. I mean, that's this is where the evolution comes into the play, right? You have to grow together with the audience, and your audience in at the age of 5 is going to need a pencil, a carbon pencil.
Yeah.
But your audience in the age of 25
They're going to need a remarkable kind of tablet.
Or something else altogether, right? That is something which companies have to figure out.
Yes.
But I'm not saying that they have to become a tech company.
That is not a mandatory.
That's not a mandatory stuff, but I think they should be able to think about the growing needs of the end user, right? So that they can travel longer along with the, like there are a lot of consumer goods kind of companies that we have grown with.
Yes.
Right. We still appreciate its consistency over the time and, trust over the time.
I think Amul is also one such company.
Amul is one, yeah.
What started with milk is right now 250 products, I think.
Correct.
Yeah, I think if there is, I only buy products if it is not there on Amul. Other products, if it's not there on Amul.
Correct.
So that is something that I've grown with for a very long time. Because whenever I was a kid, so my parents used to love Amul. Right. And the Amul ads that I saw on newspapers every single day on Hindu paper. Yeah, every single day. That is consistency to the core.
Correct.
So if it is on Amul, it doesn't matter the cost, I'll buy it from Amul.
Correct. And we should thank Piyush ji for all those creative advertisements.
Exactly. So that is one thing. And I think Jockey is a company that has evolved with me for a very long time, at least for the last 6 to 7 years.
Of course.
I've gone from V-neck t-shirts in colleges to round neck t-shirts to the later part of my colleges, then full hand t-shirts now.
Exactly.
Sweatshirts. Underwear, shorts, whatnot, track pants, whatnot.
Exactly. True. And I remember that, it is the same feeling for me as well. Yeah. I love their, the tagline, Jockey
and nothing.
Right? And I'm happy that they did not ask me about the NPS score.
Yeah. And one thing is that you can't tell the fact that I'm wearing a Jockey t-shirt right now. That is something that I like.
Yeah.
But I would love to wear a Jockey logo here, but they don't do it.
Correct. So I think a couple of companies, I think this t-shirt came from March. They do the same thing and they have published it in their website. They use it as an advertisement.
Exactly. Unbranded store.
Unbranded, or they don't show off the brand.
Yeah.
Rather than it is intentionally designed for the people who wear it to know, not the people who see it.
Exactly.
Right. It's a beautiful stuff. Again, growing together. So I think that's the stuff that we have. I think this
pretty much sums it up.
Fine. So I think we have come to the sixth point that we have summarized.
Representing everyone who hears this, thank you, God.
Integrates and reduces the friction in their life or work. I think this is one more quality of a good company, brand, or a product.
Yes.
Right. So it goes well with their life. In case of businesses, it goes well with the workflow of what they are what their existing workflow is. I think I would say it's non-intrusive.
Can you elaborate on that?
So for example, let's say if you have a product or a service that you're providing, right? Instead of going to the user and saying to change their entire behavior just to integrate your product or just to use your product, it's never going to cut it. It's never going to be in the zone where everybody would appreciate, right? Because we don't want, as much as we need change, we don't want change.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We don't like changing or going into the process of change, but we want change.
We need change.
Yes.
We need change to evolve as a human.
Yes.
But we don't want to change.
Preferably the product evolves, then it is good based on the feedback. Like as we mentioned at the previous point, if it evolves, it is good.
Correct.
If not, there has to be a way out.
There has to be a way out. So I think this is where the products should be non-intrusive.
Yeah.
Like as we were discussing earlier about this, think the drop-in replacements. So in tech, we call it drop-in replacements.
Yeah.
Right. So there are in places where you just take one product out or one particular service out and you drop this another service and
it works flawlessly,
right? It is seamless. People wouldn't kind of blink an eye. That's kind of a situation which we are talking about here.
Yes.
So more integrated into their life, into their workflows, right? So what is that what kind of product comes to your mind if you are thinking about?
Right now everyone loves to talk about browser wars, so that is something that is going on.
New browsers are popping up like anything now.
Yes.
Right.
So there is always this case that you can browsers are something that is very personal to us because we've been using for a very long time and it has every single piece of information, every single piece of autofill, every single piece of credit card details, all the emails, all the passwords, everything is there in the browser.
Correct.
It is a hassle to switch. you can shift your soul from one body to another, but you can't switch your browser. Right? That is how hard it is.
That's how hard it is. Yeah.
But if there's a new company, new browser that comes and says that, hey, we have an import feature. You can import all your bookmarks, all your passwords,
Correct.
all your everything. But
You just
one
have to
thing,
switch.
yes, we had to switch. But one major problem that we cannot do is that we cannot keep the accounts that is logged in.
Correct.
We have to do it manually again. But yeah, that is for the privacy concern. So I'm
Correct.
okay with it.
Correct.
Anyway.
As long as it is secure.
Yeah, as long as it is secure, we're okay with it. But that is something that is, like a cakewalk for me. When I switched from, I was using Chrome for a very long time, but then I switched to Safari for once I got a Mac. And when I switched to Safari to Dia, the whole experience was, just peaceful. It was bliss. I think I switched to Arc before Dia, I think, and that switch also was very peaceful as well. So everything was there in Arc input. So I got access to iCloud passwords, I got all my emails, I got all my accounts, I got all my bookmarks, everything was there. So it felt like a very beautiful designed experience. And right now, after I switched to Arc, so Dia is a browser that is developed by the browser company itself, and they've ditched Arc to work on this. There is something they've done that is very beautiful. Okay, so Dia is a browser that works on memory. So they pride on the fact that they have a lot of memories and a lot of AI based features.
It's personal browser.
Yes, it's a very personal browser which is designed for you, right? So it has to have memory about you.
Okay.
You've just installed the browser yesterday. How would it have memory about you?
Okay. It's not going to have any memory. Yes.
Not going to have any memory. So they have an amazing feature where you can copy paste your memories from ChatGPT.
Okay, that's interesting.
That is the only tool that has memory. Beautiful. Proper structured memory. They've given a feature where you can just click one button, it takes you to the page. All you have to do is click one more button there, and it's all pasted here.
It's all pasted here. Yeah, that's
immediately the browser becomes mine. It knows every single thing about me.
Correct.
It knows every single thing about me. Yeah, memory is ported. Correct. So because a few weeks ago when I saw on Twitter, they were talking about having multiple different models for multiple answers. That would have been a hell of a technology problem, if I'm supposed. This is easier. I have my own model. Correct. Just copy paste your memories. Everything else is sorted. Correct. I have access to the internet. I can probably relate it to it very easily. Correct. Just copy paste it.
And that's too, it's seamless, right? Yeah. It's not like, you have to do a lot of effort.
3 clicks.
Just 3 clicks. Yeah. It happens. Yeah.
It happens. So that is what I would say, without even being intrusive or without even,
asking for effort.
It did everything seamlessly.
If you had to copy each, I'm just imagining if you had to copy each and every of that memory,
yes,
or rewrite it, you wouldn't probably make that switch, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was stuck with same old boring Safari with no AI features.
No AI features. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's this is kind of experience we get to see in when we replace Macs or iPhones as well, right? So we just switch from one phone to another.
Exactly.
We just upgrade.
Yes.
And it feels the same.
Seamless. Yeah. It feels the same.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. But most of the time,
in
the bad way as well.
Way as well.
I think that is how it should be intentionally designed. Like, say, for example, like, even if you want to switch from WhatsApp on an Android phone to an iPhone, I think they've relatively made it very simple and very easier.
Yeah,
because I know it is technologically there's a lot of different protocols in Mac and Android. So iPhone and Android. So I think that is beautiful. That is something they've done. So yeah, I think that is how you should design your products as well. Let's say, for example, you have to have a feature where I can export all of these things in a utmost basic format like a CSV or Markdown or something like that, so I can import it to another software and use it. I think Notion does a pretty terrible job at this, because whenever you export stuff on Notion, it follows the title with a million numbers. 09AB, AB, blah, 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 blah. It puts a million numbers and it becomes impossible to use in any other application. It has the platform login without the platform login. That's kind of irritating.
Correct. And even in certain situations, I've felt it in the Google Docs as well. So recently I've had a migration that I had to do, right? So Google does not have a document format.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not portable, right? So every document is converted into Microsoft's
DOCX
or Excel, Excel format, or any of that is like kind of borrowed standard in a way, right? It's not open, and it's not like it's very difficult to switch from one to another. And when it is converted, sometimes it loses formatting. It's not that seamless, I would say, right? So though as you rightly said, though this does not look like a platform lock-in, but it is a platform
It is a
lock-in,
platform lock-in.
right?
Cost of convenience.
Cost of convenience or cost of switching.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that we have to kind of be mean to other companies and just make a lock-in. I think the best products are, the best product experience are, it should be smoother to let you in.
Yes.
At the same time, it should be smoother to let you out as well.
Yes.
Right? Both are caring.
Yeah.
Both kind of experience should be cared.
Yes.
Right? So I think that's the feedback that's the way I think as well. Yeah. It has to be seamless.
So there's a company called Affinity by Serif.
Affinity, I know.
They have 3 products. I think they're going to launch more soon. Probably by the time
by the end of
when the
this
podcast
month, I
coming.
think.
So they have Affinity Photo, which is equivalent to Photoshop. They have Affinity Designer, which is equivalent to Illustrator. They have Affinity Publisher, which is equal to InDesign. Right? They had, when they started building this company, the founders and the whole founding team had one core idea, one core thing that they wanted. The first feature they built is that PSD files, .ai files, and all the publisher files, all these things has to work seamlessly here.
Seamlessly, correct.
Even though it is not 100% accurate, it's almost there.
Almost there, yeah.
Because what happens is that for a designer, most of the time, they've been with this Adobe ecosystem for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. Personally, I've been using Adobe for almost 7 years.
Right.
But when I switched to Affinity, I was like, okay, I don't have to pay for Adobe subscription anymore. If there is something that pops up, I can obviously make an edit here.
Correct.
Right? I think that is something that they've beautifully done.
Correct.
Hopefully, Affinity Photo is also Affinity Photo files is also openable the other way as well.
Correct.
Because that makes that another platform lock-in, right? Correct. So once you become the hero, then you become the villain again.
Become the villain. Correct.
So something like that, right? So I think that is something they've done. And even though I hate Substack so much, when I switched from Substack to Behave, the whole import experience was seamless. I don't know if it is Substack's something they've done, or it is something that Behave has done. I just gave them the email list in CSV. I think every platform does that. And I wanted to import all the 700, 800 posts that I've already posted on Substack, and I just gave them the link to Behave. I think they've done a beautiful migration just from there to there.
Correct.
They asked me to export it as a CSV from that platform, just put it here. I think all the format was sorted. Correct. I think all the kind of email companies or the blog companies have certain formats they need to follow to be in the open protocol kind of open. Yeah. So yeah,
a little bit standardized in a way.
So I think that is all something a really good user experience for me. Even though I hated Substack, when I got to export it, I felt like, okay, I'm going to lose all this kind of progress and everything, but it did not happen.
It was seamless. It was integrated with whatever you were doing.
15-20 minutes of work. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm switching platforms, so I'm okay with 15-20 minutes of additional work.
To give that effort.
Yeah.
Now, I think like you said, Beehive probably made it easier, to kind of parse all this format and, make it easier for you to switch. I think there are only very few companies who rarely make difficult to switch. Not just switch out, but also to switch in. One of them is Adobe. I think.
God, it's impossible to do this on Adobe.
Correct.
And if you want to leave them, you have to pay a fine.
Correct.
This is not jail, dude.
I can understand the leaving cost, but even to enter, it is difficult.
Yeah, to make an account, you have to jump to 20 different hoops to make an account.
Yeah, only rarely companies do that, but I know
it's a monopoly.
It's a monopoly, so no one there to ask.
Yeah.
But I think beautiful experiences I've had from Figma, from like Serif, Affinity products. I was one of those early users who tested beta for Adobe, Serif and Affinity products. So it was beautiful experience.
I bought their products like 3-4 years ago, and even though I'm not using them actively, but I'm very happy with what the product has delivered.
Yeah, it is a beautiful product.
Exactly.
I think that's the core. I think switching costs is what we are talking about. Every company, every interfaces with users, and kind of makes like an alternative product or an alternative different experience altogether. Still have to consider about thinking, where does it fit in the workflow, right? So when we did enterprise sales, when we worked with B2B companies, right? So they already have a pipeline set up. They already have a workflow of how they do things. Right?
Okay.
So their initial understanding of any product to bring in to their system is to see where does it fit, right? And it has to be apparent. it has to be easier. So you have
Yes.
to know your neighbors,
Know their neighbors. Yeah.
know their neighbors, right? So you have to understand
What comes before, what comes after.
before, what comes after. I mean,
Yeah.
what goes, from the inward pipeline,
Mm.
the outward pipeline. You have to understand all that, and you have to make sure that it fits smoothly into that pipeline of stuff, right? Into that workflow of how things are happening already.
Yeah.
So you're anyway going to be a part of the system, regardless of what you build, regardless of what kind of product you do or what kind of service you provide. You fit in that system is more important. So it should
Yes.
integrate. It should be, that integration should be seamless, right?
Able to receive data from the other application or the other
Correct.
product, and also give out the application,
Give out.
readable format the other application as well.
Be friendly, be the team player,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's how it should be. I think
Yes.
that's all I think we have covered so far.
Hopefully we've covered all the 6 points in detail. So if someone is watching till the end, we wish you good luck and also bad luck, because you're sitting here for 2 to 3 hours listening to us. So
Correct.
that is there. So, but yeah, jokes apart, any final thoughts before we close?
I think this sums up well, and this is a good starting point for our
Our series as well,
TBD
TBD as well.
TBD as well.
Yeah.
And
we are not going to summarize at the end because we did that at the start.
correct. So go back and look at it
Go
in the
back and
beginning.
listen. Or use an AI browser, Command E or Option A to do
Yes.
the transcription.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's basically it. So I think all of these are valuable things for any company
Yes.
getting into the market. Let it be software, let it be hardware, let it be consumer products.
Yes.
I think being thoughtful, thinking about, caring about users, all this is very important.
Yes.
And all of these points summarized in a simple term. Experience the product, understand if you can use it, if you would recommend to someone.
Yes.
I think people would do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's see.
All the best, everyone.
If you have any other feedback for us, or if you want us to talk about different topics, please let us know in the comments as well.
Yes.
We are eagerly waiting for you, even though if it's just one person listening.
Right.
So yeah, I think
Do
see
let
you
us
on the
know.
next episode.
See you on the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.